But you would say, what if you don't get the signs? Yes, especially at the beginning, when you start this process. I do not tell you that immediately you will see a flood of signs. The flood of signs is always there. The signs are all over you. But do you notice them? Not necessarily. So if you didn't get the signs, first, you simply didn't notice the signs because you're not trained yet. Remember, it took me 27 years. I've been training it myself. I love it. I do it every day voluntarily. So obviously, I have trained myself to become the queen of science, to remind you. The second one, you are resisting. When you don't want to see some sign, you don't want to see it, you're resisting inside. You might not be aware of it, and most likely you're not aware of it consciously, but you do resist inside, so no sign. There is a sign, but you don't see it. You're in the middle of the processing work. That's usually for people who are on the spiritual path in the active processing mode. And the last one, the answer is no. That one is, I've observed it, and I was a recipient of that. Answer is no. Because for the longest time, when I've been in the spiritual cave, I was withdrawn from the world. I was in my shell doing only spiritual work. I did work with the clients and taking them on the same journey, but I wasn't involved in world activities. I didn't actively promote my business. I didn't do anything outside of my immediate physical reality because all my energy would go inside because I was in a cocoon. In a cocoon, eventually to emerge as a butterfly, but at that moment I was in that cocoon, and I kept asking for the answer, when will I have to go outside and be actively involved in business? But there was no answer. And I'm saying, how is it that I receive all the answers you possibly can have? I can ask any question and I do get the answer immediately or soon or in some time. I do get the answers, except this one. Well, because the answer is no. And they just tell you no. Maybe there were signs of no, but I didn't want to see them. I was resisting. So how do I know that? Well, the time has come when I got a huge sign. The flood of signs came in, and it was clear and unmistakable that it's time to emerge as a butterfly and go out into the world with your mission. And by the way, this program is a result of that. This is how I started emerging into the world, by having created this program. So then I clearly got the answer. I clearly saw and I knew. So I can tell you with confidence that the answer was no before, and then the answer came yes. So that's the story about these signs. And here is the last slide today. And this is my strong encouragement for you. Do not rely on your memory, even if your memory is perfect. And the reason is there are so many signs, and somehow, I don't know if it's I am that talented and everybody else, or the signs have this function, but they fade. They eventually fade from your mind. And maybe because that's a spiritual reality that came into your life for a time being, and then dissipates, and then you get it out of your memory as well. So you will not remember, I assure you, even if your memory is great. I have one of my clients said she had a big sign, huge. It was the many signs put together in one big picture. And she said, oh, yeah, I will remember no matter. I said, record it, write it down, or put it on your notes in the phone. But she said, oh, no. The signs are so huge, I will for sure remember them. Well, the next week, we had a group session where we discussed the signs and work with the signs. And when her turn came to speak, she had no remembers of those signs? She said, I do not remember them because during that week, more signs came. She got occupied with different set of circumstances and the signs. So she didn't remember the previous ones, even though she swore that she would remember. So, and I tell you, I think, oh my gosh, these signs are so big, I will remember them. Heck no, I don't. So what I do is I take a journal, and here is the picture of a nice journal. I take the journal and I dedicate 1 page per 1 day, or 2 pages if you have too many signs, but 1 day. So you put the date on the page and then you make a list of signs. You don't need to explain them here. It's up to you. You could, but when you make that list of signs together, at the end of the day, you can see the whole picture, because one sign is not always does not always give you the clear picture. When the many signs come, everyone gives you the piece of information. It's like a puzzle or riddle that you put together, and it's mosaic. It's put together, and now you know what the signs mean. So it's very handy to, first of all, you won't forget. The second thing, you will know the big picture. And the third one is, it's a great thing because later on, when you completely forget, you can scroll through the pages and you can read those signs and say, oh my gosh, I remember that now, but I didn't remember before. So it's a great reminder. Plus, it's a great reminder that you are getting signs, and to test if you really interpreted them correctly and things really happen what they predicted. So it's a great training tools, great training methods for you to really get very confident and comfortable with divine guidance signs. This lesson came to the end. And what I will do in the next one is the last session. And in the last session, I will explain where all the divine guidance signs lead us. Actually, there is one direction, and we will talk about it. And why and how to build your vocabulary. And why is it your vocabulary in the first place? So we will talk about that as well. And I will give you my time-tested formula. I love operating in formulas and systems, and I'm very systematic person in my spiritual life and physical as well. So I will give you a time-tested formula on how to ask for a sign and receive that sign. Because when I do it this way, I actually receive it very easily. It's time proven, it's time tested. My clients do the same thing. So I'm very confident about this formula. I've been using it for so long, such a long time. And for now, remember, ask and you shall receive divine signs.